Ale House.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. Access allowed.
Welcome to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge on the App State Sports Network. Coming up, 60 minutes of Mountaineer football conversation and your chance to hear from head coach Dowell Loggains. Mountaineer Talk is brought to you by Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate. Hey Mountaineers, Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate today for all your real estate needs. Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, the official soft drink of your App State Mountaineers. And by UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward. Now, to get things underway, here's the voice of the Mountaineers, Adam Witten.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Mountaineer Talk here from Rivers Street Ale House special Tuesday night edition. As we've got Thanksgiving on the horizon, the Mountaineers getting set for the regular season finale on Saturday as Arkansas State rolls into town for a 2:30 kickoff, and the Mountaineers playing for bowl eligibility on Saturday. This will, unfortunately, be our final show at Ale House. So before I get too far along, I do want to thank everybody here at the restaurant, all of you for being here in attendance. Thank you so much for being here each and every week. Coming up later on in the show, along with head coach Dowell Loggains, we will have our two player guests, Emory Floyd from the defense and Sam Mbake from the offense. They'll be scheduled to join us here at the bottom of the hour. As a reminder, if you want to be a part of our show tonight, use the hashtag Mountaineer Talk on Twitter. MountaineerTalk@gmail.com is the email address. 828-278-9850 is the text line, and we'll get to your comments on our Facebook live stream as well. All right, without any further ado, let's welcome the head coach of the Mountaineers, Dowell Loggains. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Great to see you. Great to see you. Always great to be here after a win, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Better than the alternative.
Yeah. How have the vibes been so far in the first couple of days after what was a really fun day at the Rock on Saturday?
It's been good. Back to work mentality. So that game's, we put that game to bed on Sunday and move forward. So it's back to the work week.
Yep. All right. As far as the work week goes, knowing that we've got one more regular season opportunity on Saturday, what have been some of the areas of focus this week?
Just getting ready for a big game at home versus a very talented team with some high-level players that have historically in this conference been really good. They're banged up with some injuries and stuff that have probably hurt their season a little bit, losing an all-conference running back the first game of the season, but still a really talented group.
I'll go back to Saturday just for a moment, because one of the things that you have talked about so much this week is how much the guys continue to fight. And whether it's in the game or week after week, they continue to fight no matter what's happening on the scoreboard. There was a moment in the game on Saturday against Marshall. I mean, you're coming off the game at JMU, and all of a sudden, Marshall scores 3 straight touchdowns, and they go up 21-9. I would think that there's a little bit of human nature that might come in for some people, clearly not the ones out there on the field, but for some people that might think, oh, man, is this going to be kind of a here we go again type of mentality? But they never even played or thought that way in the way that they continue to fight in that game.
I can only imagine what Twitter looked like in that moment. But we try to train our players to stay off that.
Yep.
And to stay focused on the task at hand and stay focused on the work and stay focused on the guys that, the man in the arena that go out there and play. And for those guys, it tells you about the buy in the locker room, because there's the doubt can creep in your mind if you are a weak mind in that moment when they do score 3 touchdowns in a row. It's 21-9. You're sitting there saying, all right, what's this about to look like? And our guys didn't flinch. flinch. They knew the preparation, the work they put in, and we needed to respond the right way. And that's what our guys did because they are committed to each other.
I know one of the things you talk about when it comes to J.J. Cole is just his decision-making, taking care of the football. To us, and curious your thoughts, that seemed to be what stood out the most with his performance this past Saturday.
Yeah, it is. We're 4-0 when we win the turnover battle. And you go back to these games and it's these red zone turnovers that have really plagued us. And we hadn't done a great job getting them. And then when it all comes together and you get 3 takeaways and you don't turn the ball over one time, the chances are you're winning that game no matter what happens, because offensively and defensively we didn't play the way we wanted to play. I thought we did a really good job with the situations. We owned we call it the middle 8, where we scored, got points in the second half, or the second quarter, and then came out and had a 7-minute drive and scored right there, which we needed to cut that lead down to 21-9, and we were able to get points on the board in both those things, and that was important. And then at the end of the game, when we get the takeaway, we're able to go down and get a field goal. We need to score a touchdown right there, and we kick a field goal, and then the defense gets a stop. So, and that's the 2-minute drill, the middle 8, and then we were able to close the game out kneeling it in the 4-minute drill. So we won the situations, we took care of the football, and that's why we won the game.
Did you feel going in? I mean, obviously you did because it happened, but I'm curious, if you thought to yourself going in, like, can Trigg as a rookie handle 33 carries in a game? Clearly he can, but I mean that's a big jump from what he had done previously.
Yeah, it is. Now at this point you're not a rookie because we're in week 10, 11, whatever week it is. So he's gotten to play a lot of reps, and somebody gets banged up and your workload changes, and he responded the right way. Now the great thing is he had 200 yards of total offense, and we were still able to coach him hard because the ball was still, we had no turnovers, but that ball got loose a couple times. So yeah. We're able to coach him hard on that. Young ascending player that we're excited about.
I remember one thing that you mentioned. I can't remember if it was after the game or in your Monday press conference, but just talking about the mentality of when you're facing a 4th and 1 on the minus side of the field, and maybe in some situations you go for it, but it seemed like the way that game was playing out, you said field position seems to be more important here.
Yeah, and I know that I get called, some of my NFL buddies call me Coach Go For It because I think we're in the top 10 in most 4th down attempts. But in that, we faked the extra point, and I was being too cute, and I kept looking at the scoreboard in the game. You're doing the math in your head as a coach, and you're like, all right, you kind of feel like, hey, I know what it's going to take to win the game and what it's going to take to what it looks like. And I was mad at myself about that. Now, the worst thing you want to do as a coach is take the opportunity away from your players to have a chance to win a game. And I'm sitting there at the end of the game. I'm sitting there, it's 26-24, and I'm sitting there like, if we lose this game by 1 point, if we don't respond, these players don't bail me out, I'm going to be sick of myself because I feel like I took this opportunity away from them. And we weren't, the 3rd and 1 stuff, we weren't great with 3rd and 1. So then on the 4th and 1s, I know the offensive line, those guys were mad at me for a couple of those. Hey, let's go for it. I'm like, well, I went for one. We got stoned, guys. So at that point, you're feeling out the game, and it was like, hey, let's play the smart game. Let's not play Madden. Let's punt. Let's keep playing this, because we couldn't get the field flip. Even we were able to hold them to some field goals. They missed a touchdown pass in the red zone. We blocked a field goal. They had a touchdown call back as a holding, and you just felt the game. I was like, this is going to be one of those games back and forth, and they're not doing the things you need to win the game, so let's not lose it.
Yeah, because I think on 2 of those 3 touchdowns that we referenced earlier, they came on short fields. And so to your point, like, hey, let's make sure they have a long way to go.
And a couple of those touchdowns came after 15-yard penalties on our defense. Mm-hmm. We had 3 15-yard penalties, and those are things we got to keep eliminating. And those are how you find ways not to lose. And we got to keep finding ways to win the game. And that's the growth of winning these one-score games. That's what it takes.
Yeah. You kind of want your offensive line to be mad in those situations, right? You want them to have that mentality at least.
100%. Get the first 3rd and 1 that we called the run, and I promise I'll do it again. It's on tape. Like, I don't mind going for it on 4th down, but
All right, we're just getting started with head coach Dowell Loggains. We will turn our attention to Arkansas State here in just a little bit. We also want to get to your questions for the coach. coach in our next segment. Coach Loggains' comments brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. And also Mountaineers, Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Howard Hanna Allen Tate today for all your real estate needs. Great crowd on hand tonight at Rivers Street Ale House for a special Tuesday night edition of Mountaineer Talk, and our show will continue after these messages. All right, welcome back to the show. We're with you until 7 o'clock tonight. Special Tuesday night edition of Mountaineer Talk. We're here with head coach Dowell Loggains and all of our friends here at Ale House. Coming up later, we'll have Emory Floyd and Sam Mbake, our player guests, coming up in just a little bit. All right, Coach Loggains' comments brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. Let's get to some of your questions now. First one to our text line, 828-278-9850. You had to know this one was coming on the week of Thanksgiving. Coach, how do you cook your turkey? Or how do you prefer your turkey would be the better question, I guess. Unless you do actually cook it.
No, however Miss Beth makes it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, I think we're going to call it Leonard this year, which is kind of a lunch dinner thing I found out.
Yep.
And have a bunch of the players to my house with turkeys and sides and all that other stuff. But I really just eat what she puts in front of me and tells me, like, I'd rather have Pizza Hut or Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, for me, it's whatever's in front of me, I'm going to eat it.
So, yeah, if you could maybe share a little bit more about what you and the players that are going to, hang out at the house or wherever, what the plans are for Thanksgiving in a couple days.
Yeah, normally we do Thursday nights. We have a position group over every night at the house, and we watch Thursday night football. We eat pizza, wings, hang out, and it's a great way to make connection with your players. And there's for me as the head coach, I get to know the offensive guys because I'm the play caller, and I spend a lot of time in the defensive meeting rooms and helping Coach Fuller with the DBs during individual and throwing balls and those things. But to be able, there's just a comfort level when they know they go to your house. And so when I got here a couple weeks ago, they're like, Coach, last year at Thanksgiving, everything's closed. You got to get these young guys, they don't know it. Like they're in the dorm room, and they said last year for dinner, we didn't have any food. And I was like, what do you mean you didn't have any food? And they're like, well, we didn't. I was like, all right, here's what we're doing. Everyone's coming to my house. Everyone wants to even if you want to come through, grab a box, grab food, and go home. We're opening it up at 4 o'clock for dinner. And most of them they all know the gate codes and all that stuff to get into my house. anyway because from Thursday nights, and most of the time it's like, hey, we'll have the tight ends over. But then all of a sudden, Sam and Mbake's one and Emory's one, guys we've had previous relationships. All of a sudden the tight ends are over, and then here comes Sam and Emory and a couple other, there'll be 7 or 8 other ones there. So, but I want them to feel comfortable at our house, and I want them to know, like, we sell family when we recruit them. And you can't sell family if you're not at the head coach's house, and my kids know these guys my kids idolize these guys. They look up to them. Like, I think it's great for the game. My son thinks that these are the coolest people in the world. Mm-hmm. He wants to be like them one day, and the ones that do things the right way, they don't even know how much they inspire young people to live right. And he's on the games. Like, he's listening to how they talk and how they move and how they talk to each other, and just dreams one day of getting to put on an App State uniform and play football here. And it's really cool, and that's what this game needs.
Yeah. How do you, I don't know how much you're actually watching the Thursday night football games when guys are at your house, but I'm curious, like, how you and other players absorb watching other football games different than, if it's me or anybody else just sitting on the couch watching the game.
Yeah, I think that it's funny because I get the questions like Big Saint what a hit he had in the game too. Wow. But Saint will be sitting on the couch, and I think it was 2 weeks ago, he's like sitting there, he's sprawled. He's a giant human being anyway, sprawled out on the couch. He's like, Coach D'Lo, in the NFL, why does everyone have to wear the same socks? And he's asking, why do you get fined for that? Or I'm telling him about one time we were playing when I was with the Jets, Sam Darnold's got an iWatch on. I'm like, he got fined $10,000 for having an iWatch because you can't have communication on the sideline.
Right.
It's interesting how their minds work. It's not just the NFL, but the things they think about. And we do a thing every Friday morning. We call it Situational Masters, where we talk about good things that happened in college football and pro football, things we can learn from, and things that happened bad that we need to learn from and grow from. And now it's gotten to the point where everyone's watching these games because we need to just increase our football IQ. And the only way to do that is to watch football, to talk about football. And they're sending clips from Twitter and Instagram and all the little social media things are about games like, hey, coach, that was a no consequence. They can't, or that should have been a Peter. They blocked the field goal. And we talk about in our game when DeNigel blocked the field goal, we make a Peter call because it crosses line of scrimmage. You can't touch.
Yeah.
You can't touch the ball. Let that thing go. And so you see our guys, and we talk about it on Friday morning. So we're just trying to create as much football IQ as we can. So, and it's funny how their minds work. It's not just like, hey, coach, that's inside zone. It's all kinds of weird questions. Then it turns into, hey, coach, who was your favorite player you coached in the NFL, or who's the hardest to go against? So it just creates natural dialogue.
Yeah, I love those conversations that happen. Other than the television where the game is on, what are some of the things that the guys enjoy doing other than eating, coming to your house and doing?
Yeah, most of the time, so we start upstairs, and we have a little game room. We got Papa Shot downstairs. We have a little pool table. My son's going to try to get whoever he can to get on and play video games with him because he's not allowed to play Fortnite, but somehow when the players are there, he's allowed to play Fortnite. So it ends up downstairs watching the game, and then they're down, like, there's a TV downstairs they're watching, but they end up doing, and it's just cool to watch those guys get to hang out together because we live in a world where these things are dominant. Mm-hmm. Like, you'll watch these kids and they'll be sitting there just doing this the whole time, sitting next to each other texting. It's like, put down the phone and talk. Mm-hmm. And but it's good for us to get those guys in those situations because then it creates conversations that's not always about football. It's about their families and how they grew up and what hard things they've overcome in their life. And you get to know them, spending time with them. And I think it's the most valuable thing we have is when you can give your players and the people you care about your time. Mm-hmm. And I learned this from my college coach a long time ago. He said, they don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. And I think that's what's helped us get through these hard 4 weeks, and why we were able to win a hard-fought football game is because the connection that we are building. Yeah,
that's really insightful. I appreciate you sharing some of those details. And so, when how many people you think will be over on Thursday?
We're anticipating as much as 100.
Whew.
Yeah.
Will you contribute anything to the meal?
Truth. No. No.
Just a healthy appetite.
Most time what happens on Thursday, Rondo, he was laughing at me last time. They walk back up the stairs from the game room, and I'm like sitting in a chair passed out asleep. And I am watching the game. You fall asleep. Because it's the end of the week. It's like the only night the coaches are, like, we're out of the office. And then all of a sudden you just get hit. And it's like, Monday night we stay late game planning. Or Sunday night we're game planning. Monday we're game planning, and then we start recruiting. And then Tuesday we're staying till 10 o'clock, and then we start recruiting. And so Wednesdays we do the fireside chat with Coach Moore and Dr. Furman. And then so Thursday I have got a group at my house. So by then I'm wore out. And they're like laughing at me walking up the stairs like, look at Coach D-Lo. I'm like, guys, we've been going to every day, but it's also good for them to see how we interact with our kids and our families, and just that we are normal. And it's all of a sudden, like my wife, they always ask me, does D-Lo always have this much energy? And then she just laughs because she knows about 9 o'clock I'm going to be passed out in a chair asleep.
You're done. Yeah, you're done. I mean, I get it. That's a real thing, and I think a lot of people in this room can listening and watching can relate to that as well. 9 o'clock, your head's ready to hit that pillow. All right. Well, appreciate that. That was fun conversation, and it all kind of stemmed from the question of how you cook the turkey or how you prefer the turkey. So, all right, we're going to turn our attention back to football in our next segment. We've got Arkansas State coming in on Saturday at 2:30, so we'll learn a little bit more about the Red Wolves when our show continues. Since 1981, Mountaineer Mania has been Boone's one-stop shop for all your App State gear, largest selection of tailgating supplies, hats, and one-of-a-kind apparel. Mountaineer Mania has something for everyone. Alumni owned and operated. Make sure your next trip to Boone includes a visit to Mountaineer Mania. All right, we'll continue with more from River Street Ale House. It's Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, and we're back after these messages.
Touchdown! On game day.
To the show. It is Mountaineer Talk here at Ale House, special Tuesday night edition as we've got Thanksgiving on the horizon, and we've also got the Arkansas State Red Wolves coming up on Saturday. 2:30 is the kickoff, so let's learn about this Arkansas State team that's coming in at 5-6. They've lost their last two, and they lost their last two as heartbreakers, but before that they had rattled off 4 consecutive wins. Coach, immediately what stands out about this team when you look at them big picture?
Well, I don't envy their non-conference schedule. You got to play an SEC team in Iowa State.
And Arkansas and Iowa State. Yeah, two of their non-con.
You know, that's tough in itself right there. Obviously had a tough 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks, and lost close games versus good teams. And So I think when you're looking at those guys, they have a lot to play for as well, though. They got some really talented players, and they've got an experienced, talented coach, and Coach Jones, and has done a great job for a long time. And you see, and it feels Alabama. When I was at Arkansas as a coach, we got to play Alabama twice, and just schematically, defensively, schematically, offensively, special teams wise, it has that feel of that. You can see that influence that he's brought to Arkansas State, and done a really good job building a program and it looks like he's gonna be able to sustain it.
Yeah. On the defensive side of the ball, we'll start there. They've got 2 defensive ends. 32 Ethan Hassler has 6.5 sacks. 10 DeMarcus Hendricks has 6 sacks. I mean, they're one of the tops in the conference in terms of getting to the quarterback. They have 30 on the year, which is second in the league. How tough are those guys to keep away from the quarterback?
Yeah, and that's the challenge this week is last week we faced a defense coordinator that would bring pressures from everywhere and had no fear in calling. I think the first play of the game he called the cover 0. Like, that guy's fearless as a play caller. Coach Gibson's a really, really good coordinator and head coach. These guys beat you with 4, and that's the challenge is they're going to play loaded coverages and beat you with 4, and they're twitched up front. They do a great job getting to the quarterback. It's a point of emphasis with our protections this week, and they also know, and it goes back to being in Alabama and being under Coach Saban and learning that they know how to create matchups and eliminate chips from being. So a lot of times we can put a tight end in there and help with the defensive end or chip our way out. Like, they understand how to beat chips and those things. So schematically, that's where the back and forth will go with the scheme.
Seems as though Butch Jones also learned that how much an importance on special teams can be beneficial for a team. Yeah,
very similar to us with not as probably as much as we do, because we do a lot, and I think that comes from being around guys like Pete Limbo and Joe DeCamillis and just the value of special teams. And then Coach Crosby was with Joe DeCamillis, the guy I was with in South Carolina. It's really how I got to find out who Coach Crosby was a recommendation of Joe DeCamillis, who I competed against a lot in the NFL, and then got to work with in South Carolina for a year. And Pete Limbo did such an amazing job at our special teams in South Carolina, and now the head coach at Buffalo. But what it goes back to still is it's still part of that, like, I hate saying this, but it's the Saban tree, and just the value, how we practice, how much time we put into it, because we are the number 1 special teams unit in the Sun Belt statistically, and we value it, but so do they. Our practices are going to be very similar. The meeting time devoted to special teams is going to be very similar. It's always going to be important to both teams, and they've got a great kickoff return guy. He's got 2 returns for touchdowns. Yeah. We've got to do a great job in our return units, our coverage units, making sure we get that guy down as well.
Yeah, that's Chauncey Cobb, number 16, who's also a really good receiver for them. They've got talented receivers, but quickly let's touch on the offense. Jalen Rayner, quarterback, he's the one in charge of this offense, another dual threat. But one thing you had mentioned earlier is that he seems to maybe have even more speed than some of the guys we've seen before.
Yeah, you go back to Braxton and some of the guys that we've practiced, the Southern Miss and Coastal, even Georgia Southern, just they were bigger. They're stronger runners. This guy's fast.
Yeah.
He's fast. And we got to do a great job in our rushes of keeping him in the pocket, on our zone reads. Still an area we can improve on when we're making our dive calls and when we're tackling the back versus playing the quarterback and making him hand the ball. So that's going to be a challenge this week because they do create conflict that way. That makes it tough in this conference. Every week it feels like we're going against a dual threat quarterback, and I think we're getting better at it. It's a big challenge this week. We need to be able to stop the run. Too many yards per play, too many yards given up in the run game last week for our defense, and did a good job making them kick field goals and blocking the field goal, and those 3 takeaways helped a ton, but another big challenge this week from the quarterback position.
All right, well, big opportunity. It's great to be back at home on Saturday, and I know you want to send these seniors out the right way too.
Yeah, that you look, we have so much to be thankful for, and it's Thanksgiving, but you got an opportunity to be thankful for the opportunity that all of us have to be in this place, and whatever our role is on this team, this organization, all of us are blessed to be here and where we're supposed to be. But most important, want to send these seniors out the right way. One last game at home, and that's really important, and that's really what we're playing for.
All right. Go get them on Saturday. Appreciate you being here, man. A lot of fun this season, and want to thank Coach Loggains for being here every week here at Ale House to talk some App State football. His comments tonight brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. When we come back, we'll have our player guests as we roll on with Mountaineer Talk after these messages.
UNC Health Blue Ridge. We want to hear from you as well. Tweet us using the hashtag Mountaineer Talk. Now, let's head back to your host, Adam Witten.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Glad you're here with us as we are continuing on with our Tuesday night edition of Mountaineer Talk. Our thanks to head coach Dowell Loggains for joining us in the first 30 minutes of the show. And now we're going to begin our player guest segments here in just a moment. But first, we also want to remind you that along with enjoying your time here at Ale House, you can also check out Town Tavern Blowing Rock for a great dining experience. They're open for lunch, dinner, and later have 19 flat screen TVs to catch the games. They also boast the largest outdoor dining area in the high country. So make sure you stop by Town Tavern Blowing Rock on your next trip to the high country. All right, everyone, give it up for our first player guest. He plays cornerback on the defense. He wears number 6. It is Emory Floyd. How you doing, man?
I'm good. You good?
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. All right. First of all, how did it feel getting that pick on Saturday?
It felt good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was up 3-0 and like just turning the ball over, getting the ball, giving it back to the offense. It felt good. So it was real fun.
Prior to that game, when's the last time that you had an interception?
Probably my senior year. I had like 5 picks. So
in high school?
Yeah.
So that's your first college interception?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You had 5 your senior year of high school.
5,
though.
yeah.
I mean, you've come close a few times this year.
Yeah, facts.
How do you try to make sure that you don't get frustrated and say, okay, my time's going to come? Were you thinking that way?
Yeah, I just made sure to grab the ball and not have it fall and stuff. But I'm going to try to get one this weekend, so we're going to see.
Try to get one this weekend.
Yeah,
okay, sure. Very good. I like that. I like the confidence there. All right, so tell us a little bit about why you ended up here at App State. What went into your decision to, because you were at South Carolina and D'Lo was there as well, but what led to your decision to come here to App State?
Really the coaches and the players. I know a lot of players on the team. The team is really like Atlanta-based. I'm from Atlanta, so it was really kind of an easy decision for me. Like when I came here and did my visit and stuff, I knew a lot of players and Coach D'Lo too. Like he's been always a good coach to me and stuff. So it was really like an easy decision for.
Okay, so I mean, So Atlanta is your hometown. Now we've had conversations with guys in terms of like, are you from Atlanta or do you claim a different part? Like where do you draw the line in terms of like who can actually claim that they're from Atlanta when it comes to all those little suburb towns and towns right outside of the limits?
You really just got to be like the Fulton area for real. I mean, I went to school in Powder Springs, but I lived in Atlanta. But I guess you could say I'm from Marietta, Georgia, because my school's in Marietta. But yeah, I mean,
that's close. That's close. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're glad that you're here, and it's how was it kind of incorporating into a new, not necessarily a new system because you knew some of the coaches that were here, but working with DJ Smith and working with Coach Fuller and trying to gel as a defense with so many new faces. What was that process like for you?
It was kind of like easy for real. Like you said, Coach Fuller, Coach DJ, they all played in the league, so it was really kind of easy, like learning a new system and stuff. It's all like kind of the same, like all defenses the same, just more man, like more zone, whatever, like what coaches like to put out on the field. So it was really like easy, like getting the new playbook and learning the stuff.
Does the message come across a little differently when it's coming from guys who have played in the league, like you said?
Yeah, it does for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Tell me about what we were talking about with Coach D'Lo, which is being at his house watching football. How do you experience that?
It's fun. He got a real big house. His house is like a mansion. I'm not gonna lie. So, I mean, he has food every Thursday and stuff. I think it's from here, if I'm not mistaken, or South End, something like that. But now the food's be good. We be watching Thursday night football. He got like a downstairs where you can play like video games and stuff. So it's like real cool.
Yeah. You're probably sitting there watching the game though and trying to analyze.
Yeah. Like watching NFL football. Yeah.
He was mentioning that sometimes guys will look at it and they'll just ask questions about why certain things happen in the game or why things happen at the NFL level. What are some of the things that you're interested in that you've been trying to learn about if you're watching games, NFL games on a Thursday night?
Really just try to watch like every position for real. Like I'm real big on like what this player doing like technique wise and stuff. Try to like copy off his game and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Bring it to my game and really just like seeing how physical they are because all them boys are physical. So I really just try to like bring that into my game for real.
Who do you like watching? Who do you think has the game of a shutdown corner or a man-to-man corner or whatever your kind of style you like to watch? Who do you like to watch?
My favorite corner was Jair Alexander. He's not playing no more, but I mean, I guess you can say like Sauce, Patrick Surtain, but really Jair Alexander is my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Are you a Falcons fan?
Nah.
No. It seems like every person that's from Georgia or the Atlanta area, I don't know if we've had anybody that's tell us they're actually a Falcons fan.
Nah.
Who's your team?
I like the Buccaneers.
My man. That's my squad too. Yes. Okay. We're not in great shape right now. Didn't go so well Sunday night, but it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Somebody's got to win the NFC South. I don't know if the Panthers want to win it or the Bucs want to win it. We'll find out.
For sure.
I hope so. All right. We're just getting started with Emory Floyd. If you have a question for Emory, go ahead and fire away on text, email, our Twitter feed, and also our Facebook live stream. And we'll continue with more of Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge right after these messages. All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk from Ale House, special Tuesday night edition. And our show presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. We're visiting with Emory Floyd from the defense. Sam Mbake is coming up in just a couple minutes. And just learned during the commercial break that you guys played against each other in high school. Is that right?
Yeah, we did.
How did those matchups go?
It was good competition for real. He went off, I went off. I had me a pick in that game, so it was a good competition game. I liked it. Yeah,
but whose team won?
Oh no, his team won for sure.
He's smiling pretty wide over there on that one. What's it like going up against him? What happens when you guys are going up against each other in practice?
Oh no, sound like real good comp, like real shifty off the line and stuff. Like you got to be on your toes when you guarding Sam off the line and stuff. He real like explosive and stuff. So it's real good competition. You know what I'm saying? He'll tell you himself it's good competition.
Yeah. Okay. What's your personality like on the field? I always enjoy, especially at the wide receiver and corner positions. I always like to know if guys do a lot of talking or stay quiet. What's your personality like on the field?
No, I'm really like laid back. I don't really do too much talking unless like they're talking smack to me. Then I'll talk smack back. But I'm really like a cool, chill person. I don't talk too much smack for real. I be chilling for real.
Who's talking? Who in our team in practice is trying to talk and get in your head?
Probably Sam. Yeah, Sam.
He's not disagreeing.
Yeah, Sam. Sure.
Okay, so it's at that position, I'm always fascinated by the mentality because you got to have a really short memory as a corner, right? How do you train yourself to be able to do something like that where it's like, hey, no matter what happens, and sometimes your name only gets called if you get beat on a play or something. How do you do that as a corner to train your mind to be able to immediately move on to whatever's next?
It's kind of hard. Like you said, you never want to get beat, but it's football. Like, it's going to happen and stuff. But you just got to go to the next play, you know what I'm saying? Like, envision yourself making the next play. Like, you can't dwell over, like, you getting beat or getting caught a pass because, like, they're going to try you again. So it's like you got to, like, have next play mentality. Yeah.
Where do you feel like you've grown the most as a player this season?
I want to say I talk more. Like, I used to always be like a quiet person and stuff. Like, I try to like help people out. Like, if I see stuff like different formations, I'm real like smart. So if I see like a certain formation and stuff, I'll tell them like, yo, like this is coming or be aware of this. So really just talking more to my players that's playing on the field.
Yeah. Okay. And so have you learned kind of the art of studying film and things like that? Like, how much time are you putting into that?
I watch like a good amount of film just to see like different formations because like this league is like a copycat league. So most teams run the same stuff, so it's like certain formations, like if they look the same, I can like call it out and just tell like what they're gonna run and like what's coming.
That's really interesting. All right, how much are you looking forward to Saturday? You guys got a lot to play for right now.
Yeah, we got a big game, Arkansas State. We've been playing good, practicing good. We had practice today, so I think we gonna come out and do what we can do.
All right, can't wait to see it. Emory Floyd, thanks, man. Appreciate you being on the show.
Appreciate you.
Emory Floyd joining us on the program. Want to give a special thank you to the Boone Chamber of Commerce as the title sponsor for Saturday's game. And it's also sponsored in part by Appalachian Commercial Real Estate, NC Innovation, and Summit Auto Spa. We appreciate their support of App State Athletics and our local community. When we come back, Sam Mbake joins the show. That's when Mountaineer Talk continues after these messages.
Now, back to River Street Ale House and the voice of the Mountaineers, Adam Witten.
Continuing on with our show, we're glad everyone's with us. This is our final show here at Ale House for football season. We'll be back in January for basketball editions of Mountaineer Talk. But we're finishing off with Sam Mbake. I'm really excited to get to know this young man. First of all, I'm not sure where to start here, but I'm going to go with what we were just talking about during the commercial break, because I didn't get a chance to ask Coach Loggains about this, but you made a little bit of a position shift. It seems like a little bit, but it's actually a world of difference, because you went with Jaden Barnes being out for the game this past Saturday. You shifted into the inside and that slot position. How tough was that to learn in just, a few short days?
I mean, well, man, Coach Loggains, he does a great job of just breaking everything down to me from a fundamental standpoint and just breaking down the whole defense. And so really making a move to the slot just with the type of coaches and the resources I have, it really wasn't hard at all, for real.
Yeah. You had 7 catches in the game, and you took some hits. I mean, you were getting the ball in your hands quite a bit, but, I mean, you were able to hang on to that ball despite getting some pretty hard shots.
I know, yes, sir, man. I just see it like I got to go do it for my brothers, and a guy like JJ, if he puts trust in me, I just got to go out there and make the play for him every time.
Yeah. All right, so tell us, how have you enjoyed being here in Boone and App State? How would you summarize it?
Man, I love Boone. I've been a lot of places, even just from high school, but Boone is just such a family-oriented place. It's just the way the people, they've taken care of me for my whole journey since I've been here, from the summertime to the start of the season, just even to now, man. It's just a true vocal point of just how the Boone people are.
What can you tell us about your journey? Because you've been at a few different stops before coming here. I mean, I'd love to hear as far back as you're willing to take us on this journey.
Yes, sir, most definitely. Well, I started off my journey with Sam Pittman over there in Fayetteville, Arkansas, the northwest side at the University of Arkansas. It was a phenomenal experience. I was there with D-Lo when he was a position coach, and then shortly after that, I faced a little injury, a little bit of adversity, had to go JUCO, and I really honed in on just, focusing on myself and just being a better man. And as I got to do that there, I got a chance again to get that relationship again with D-Lo, and then got myself out here to Boone.
Yeah, and we're so glad that you're here. And then, it took you a little while to be able to get on the field. How tough was that to be ready and be in position to be able to make an impact on this team, but you still had to be just a little bit more patient?
Yes, sir, man. It really all goes back to the resources, like I was saying from the jump. The people, they've never changed with me. Regardless of my situation, they've always cared for me. They're even my teammates, my brothers. I call them my brothers because we're not really even teammates at this point in the season. The way even the EQ people, even the trainer staff people, everyone has just always made sure I was straight whether I was on the field or not.
Yeah. How have you tried, because you've got this infectious personality, but how have you tried to be someone that, even in just a very short time in being here, being someone that people look at to kind of set the tone a little bit?
Well, man, I've always wanted to just be a great leader just for everything, just not just for football or just how to do school, just being a man just in life. You're going to face adversity and hard struggles, and I want to be that guy that people can look upon like, hey, man, he done been through all of this, but now look where he's headed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and and I would imagine that's something that can be really helpful, because when you're going through the 4-game losing streak and you're trying to keep your head up and you're trying to keep your spirits up, where did you try to make an impact to try to keep guys to keep fighting and make sure that, hey, like, it's going to turn around?
Yeah, man, one thing our team feeds off of, something our special team coach brought, is juice. And I always try and bring juice in every way possible. And then also, second but very much not least, always just having God in your life, just pouring everything into your faith, man. It just overtakes everything. It beats out whatever a man or a woman would think. God just knows it all.
Yeah. Where did your love of football begin?
Well, I'm a first-generation American. Shout out to my parents. They're both from Cameroon, and my mom had me in Atlanta, Georgia at Northside Hospital. But my love for football just really just came from seeing my mom work hard every day, just doing everything that she was doing. I just seen football as an avenue where I could replicate what she's done in her life.
She made a lot of sacrifices, didn't she?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So from your nationality is from Cameroon. Do you ever had a chance to visit or go back?
Nah, rest in peace to my grandmother. She was such a great lady. I haven't been back since I've been around 8 years old, but I plan on the near future and getting back. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. That's really interesting. So you're raised in Atlanta, and we were talking to Emory Floyd about some of your high school duels with one another. Uh-huh. Anything else you want to share about that he might have left out of that story?
I mean, nah, man. Emory, he's been always a great player. I always say we definitely got the upper hand on their team, but he was always a player that showed out, though. our standpoint, most definitely, yeah.
All right. So he says that he's kind of a quiet person in terms of the trash talking on the field, unless somebody is trying to egg him on.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, no, Emory, man, he's a guy who hones in on his craft. I love that about him. I just love seeing how it works. He works in silence, man, but then when he gets out there and just shows it, it's like he has such a dominant vocal voice. But, he's a quiet guy. He likes doing what he do, but I'm going to definitely always get him going, though, yeah.
What about you? What's your personality like on the field?
Nah, me, I can't be too much quiet, man. I got to talk to myself to get myself going. I got to hit my helmet before the snap starts. Got to smell me some outside, keep going.
Okay, so you're talking to yourself. You're not necessarily talking to other people.
Yeah. I really just, like I said, and this is really truthfully, I really pour everything I love into my faith in my Lord. So anything that anybody says to me on the field doesn't really affect me. So I just talk to myself, and I always tell myself what I'm doing bad or what I'm doing wrong. I trash talk to myself in the middle of plays.
I love that. It's kind of, is it all like, I remember Andrew Luck would be this way. If somebody laid a big hit on him, he would always say, hey, good hit. He would always compliment the other guy. Is that kind of what you might do in a situation where you're going across the middle, someone delivers a big hit, and you say, hey, good hit.
Nah, yes, sir. And, that's the great thing about football. It's such a fun game. And, sometimes when you can't look at it like it's just an enemy, you know what I'm saying? It's a fun game. And once you're not having fun with it and having those little dialects and those little conversations, it takes all the joy out of it.
It seems like that's always been important to you, is making sure you keep the joy in football.
Oh, right? Yeah, most definitely. Always got to keep the joy in it, because if you're not having no joy in it, you're just out there just doing it, then you shouldn't be out there. Because, not too many people get this opportunity that we have just to be in this beautiful town like Boone, to get to experience everything that we get to experience. So why not, embrace it?
I feel like this is the perfect guy to have on the show the week of Thanksgiving, right?
Man,
at a time
thankful.
when we're being thankful for so much in our life, you're the perfect guest to have on here right now.
I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. We are going to continue on with Sam Mbake here in just a moment. Our segment's brought to you by Alumni Hall, the official online store of App State Athletics. Shop the best selection of App State apparel, hats, and gear by visiting Alumni Hall on King Street or alumnihall.com. Earn $10 in Hall cash rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, the ultimate Mountaineer shopping destination. More with Sam Mbake from Ale House after these messages. All right, welcome back to the show. A few more minutes left here from River Street Ale House. It's Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. We've got Sam Mbake as our guest. Before we continue on, I want to remind you about a couple athletics events where you can still get tickets and be a part of a great environment. First, we've got wrestling coming up this Sunday, 3 o'clock at Varsity Gym, a duel with NC State, the 10th ranked team in the country. Again, that's Sunday at 3 o'clock. John Mark Bentley and the wrestling squad taking on NC State. And then we also want to continue to encourage people to create a great atmosphere for the game against High Point in men's basketball. That's in Hickory, and that's going to be on December 14th, a Sunday at 2 p.m. So please make sure you snatch up your tickets for those two events and create a great atmosphere for both wrestling, men's basketball, as well as all of our events for all of our sports coming up, especially on Saturday when we've got Senior Day, last game at the Rock for 2025, and we're talking with Sam Mbake, wide receiver, here on the program. Have you been working at all as a punt returner in practice with Jaden Barnes out from last Saturday?
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to my guy, Coach Crosby, man. He's just such a phenomenal person. And just going back to the people who always just looked out for me when times was hard, man. Just bring tears to my eye, but not most definitely. He definitely has me out there, back there, returning punts. And we're just going through it right now, going through the process right now.
You ever done that before?
Oh, no, yes, sir. I did it in high school. I actually did it against Emory team back in freshman year when we was both on freshman and junior varsity. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you told us a little bit about some of the things that you do to get yourself ready to play a game. Do you have any sort of any routines or traditions that you have to do either the morning of, right before the game? Take us a little bit through your game day routine.
Well, okay. So, of course, as everyone should do it, or at least as how I do. When I wake up, I get on my knees and I pray. I pray for at least 10 minutes. And then when I get on whoever I ride with to the facility, I make sure that in my headphones that I wear that I'm listening to some form of the word, because the word is very important. I feel like when you wake up and whatever you hear, whatever you see, that's going to inflict on how the rest of your days go. So I take that very importantly. And then, nonetheless, after that, of course, when I get to the field, of course, game day wise, we're talking, I'll do my stretching routines outside, go outside, walk a lap. Thank the Lord again, because it's always an opportunity, a great opportunity I'm always blessed for. And then, of course, before the game by itself, like warm-ups and stuff like that, I have to go and take me at least a 10-minute hot shower and just process everything. Yes, sir.
Before you get your jersey,
yes,
your pads on and everything like
yes,
that.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I love that, and that's something you stick to all the time. Yeah.
Got to.
Really quick, I'd love to just hear you kind of articulate again just what you value most when it comes to the game of football.
I mean, what I value most when it comes to the game of football is the true joy and passion and the grit and toughness that you have to put into the game day in and day out, whether that's in the classroom with your coaches, whether that's in the weight room or outside doing walkthroughs, or whether that's at practice just doing the mental reps. Even today, just going back to what you said with the punt return thing, I was taking some reps, but even when I wasn't taking reps, I was standing behind guys like Jackson Greer and Trey, just looking at them, just getting a feel for how they would go catch it, what decisions they would make.
Yeah. How much do you spend studying, like you said, whether it's studying in practice or watching games, watching film, talking to people? How much do you try to put into the research and the analysis of being better at the game?
Yes, sir. Well, I definitely, whenever I get home, I turn on my AirPlay and I put it on my big TV, and I like to watch each period of practice at least like 10 to 15 minutes solely. And then now, even with me getting into the slot, I'm definitely harping this on. It's actually been more so like 20 to 30 minutes recently. Yes, sir.
Wow. Every practice. You're doing that every practice.
You got to.
That's incredible. And where do you think you've grown the most as a player as a result of that?
Man, all glory to God, but most definitely, I've definitely gotten better emotionally. I was never just too bad with it, but just like the little things, I've definitely harped down on that and definitely did way better than that.
Yeah. All right. And finally, before we let you go, what are your thoughts and emotions looking forward to this game on Saturday?
It's so much that can be said, but at this rate in this life, it's just nothing that we are going to say. We're just going to go and do.
Yeah. All the talking's over. It's time to go play. Go do. Right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Let's do it. We'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Sam Mbake joining us, man. Really enjoy it. Again, guy who's just plays with so much joy, so grateful, and a great guest to have as we lead into Thanksgiving. Good luck on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Good luck
it.
to you.
All right, that's going to do it for our show tonight. Our thanks to Sam, our thanks to Emory Floyd, our thanks to Dowell Loggains. And on our last show here at Ale House, we again want to say thank you to all of you that have been here in attendance, everybody watching, listening, whether it's live or on demand on our podcast, to the wonderful staff here at Ale House. We're so thankful for everybody that's a part of making this show happen each and every week. Saturday at 2:30, App State and Arkansas State. Regular season finale, a chance to become bowl eligible with a win. Our coverage on the network will begin at 12:30 p.m. with myself, Brandon Turner, and Matt President, all coming to you from Kid Brewer Stadium this Saturday. All right, that's going to do it for our show. We thank you once again for joining us, and we will see you all back at The Rock on Saturday. And have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And as always, go App.
Wow. You've been listening to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UN.